Hey there! Thank you so much for taking action on Translate to Profit. Now, while we set up your account of Translate to Profit, I have got something special to show you. Please pay very close attention as I won't be having this for very long. So as promised, you don't need any traffic to profit with Translate to Profit, but what if you could create an extra income by tapping into my personal pool of millions of targeted visitors? Yes, you could send 1,000 to 2,000 clicks daily to any link of your choice. That includes your affiliate links from sites like Warrior Plus, JVZoo, and ClickBank. It could even be your funnel link or your opt-in page. These are a few of the possibilities. Will that interest you? Do you like the sound of getting traffic from us? The one thing we want to make clear is that these are quality visitors. They are hyper-targeted for make-money online niche and love to turn into sales. Introducing Translate to Profit Limitless Traffic. Imagine how much traffic you would be able to generate with 1,000 to 2,000 additional daily hits of traffic to your offers. Is this fair? Probably, but I love to spoil my customers. We have worked hard for years to build this traffic source, and now it's your chance to get a slice of it without doing the work yourself. Normally, an additional 1,000 to 2,000 visitors would cost you hundreds, if not thousands, every day. I'm not joking. Marketers regularly pay $3 or more for every targeted click of traffic. It doesn't get any better than this. Now, you might be wondering, wow, why are you giving this traffic after all? What's in it for me with this offer? Why don't I just use the traffic myself and generate profit myself? It's simple. I'm giving you the chance to get access to my traffic source of millions of buyers. It ensures I have a loyal base of customers like you who keep my brand's reputation white as snow. So, when that's taken into consideration, that's more valuable than using the traffic for myself. So, what's the catch? First of all, there is a catch. Here's the deal. This offer is only open to the first 19 people, so that all of our traffic isn't taken off. After all, if this was open to everyone, then all of our traffic would be used, and there would be none left. So that's why it's crucial for you to get started right now. At last, this is your chance to start siphoning loads of visitors from our personal traffic source. You won't find anything like this out there. Traffic is the lifeblood of any business, period. Which is exactly what you will be able to start generating by leveraging our giant source with the press of a button. Remember, there is zero risk with our 30-day money-back guarantee. So, what do you have to lose? Click the button below now to get started. Awesome! Thank you for buying Translate to Profit. First of all, I would like to thank you for getting your hands on Translate to Profit. This is one of the best decisions you will make this year. Mark my words. Well, while your Translate to Profit account is being created, I would like to show you something super special. This is something that we have never done before. What you have is great, but what if you can earn more income? As promised on the sales page, Translate to Profit will help you earn a decent amount over and over again. Although that's great, but what if you could add an additional stream of income? Don't you think it's better? Don't you agree? Well, if you want to add another income stream, then you are in luck, my friend. I will let you copy my 5 done-for-you profit sites that's generating us over $960.75 per day. These are 100% automated and made me a total of over $34,580.88 in the last 30 days. The best part? These are backed by real results. I have been profiting from these sites for years, and there's no reason why you can't either. Simply clone them all in just a few clicks and you're all set. Introducing Translate to Profit done-for-you profit sites. Well, this is your chance to take your results even further. Simply press a few buttons to clone my 5 money-making done-for-you profit sites. It's just as easy as dialing a phone number. We enjoy passive income thanks to these profit sites because these run on 100% complete autopilot, making us profits even when we are sleeping. These sites are 100% done for you, ready to start generating you profits. So you don't need to waste your time configuring anything. You're going to use the exact sites as me, responsible for generating $960.75 per day. And they are backed by real results proven to generate profits. You can count on them to work like gangbusters. and it's super easy to get started. Step 1. Click any of the buttons on this page to lock in your copy of Translate to Profit DFY Profit sites. We're capping this offer to first 25 people only to avoid saturation, so hurry up. Step 2. Click your mouse a few times to order from us our 5 proven sites that make me an extra $960.75 per day. Step 3. Activate the free built-in traffic at a press of the button to start flooding your 5 DFY profit sites with visitors. And Step 4. Choose where you want to be paid, PayPal or direct deposit, to start receiving payments. It doesn't get any better than this, my friend. You won't find any offer like this, my friend, so be sure to take advantage of it before it's gone. Remember, this is done for you. You can't mess this up because these profit sites are proven to crank out profits. I've been generating an additional $960.75 every single day with them, and I know they won't let you down either. What would that kind of money do for you? Now, you might be wondering at this point, how much is this going to cost me? Well, let us put it this way. I'm letting you steal my 5 proven automated sites that make me an extra $960.75 daily. So, with the value that is at stake here, I could charge you a serious amount of money for these sites. I have no problem charging $5,000 from people who will fully clone these sites. After all, it will quickly pay for itself. But we get it, $5,000 is a lot to put up front. But you won't pay near $5,000, not $2,000, not $1,000, not even $500. We have decided to offer members of Translate to Profit discount. It is our way of saying thanks. We appreciate you taking the action and joining the community. So we are going to give a chance to clone 5 DFY profit sites at one time at a massive discount. However, this discount comes with a catch. It'll only be available to the first 25 members of Translate to Profit. Once those spots are taken off, we will be closing our doors right away. And this isn't some kind of scary tactic to pay us quicker. If too many people end up using these sites, they will get saturated and will become completely useless. So, we are forced to put these limits in place. Listen, my friend, so if you like the sound of cloning my proven sites that are making me $960.75 per day, then act right now. After all, there is no risk, as you're protected by our 80-day money-back guarantee. If these sites don't work for you, you can get your money back right away anyway. Remember, this offer will be in high demand, so what are you waiting for? Click the button below right now to claim your copy of Translate to Profit DFY profit sites before all the spots are taken away. We will see you inside.